Talk about a meal that you can come home to and have on the table within about 30 to 35 minutes. We're doing something with a really, really fancy name, but you wouldn't believe how easy it is to make it. We are making a Veal Saltimbocca with a beautiful sauce and accompanied by some green beans. Hey everybody, it's Walter from Artistic Gourmet Adventures. My wife Kim and I own this unique small group tour company where we host groups of 6 to 12 guests for 1 week luxury adventures in beautiful locations throughout Europe and the United States. I have the privilege of being the adventure chef, creating and preparing daily gourmet meals for our guests. We also enjoy creating in-home private dinners for clients and friends when we're back in the States. Many of our guests request our recipes and want to learn cooking tips. So, in this video series, from our cozy home kitchen here in the beautiful Loire Valley of France, we will demonstrate a wide variety of recipes, from culinary classics to originals, as well as covering professional kitchen techniques for the home chef. For more information on Artistic Gourmet Adventures, check our website, linked in the description below. Now, let's start cooking! For a dish that sounds so incredibly fancy, it's amazing how simple it is and how simple the ingredients are and how few of them we need. But the important thing with Veal Saltimbocca is that you have really, really great quality ingredients. First, let's start with the veal. This is veal that you can purchase it here in France, but you can also buy it in the States. But if you purchase it, for example, this one is not really as thin as I would like for it to be, but it'll work. It's okay. But these two are nice and thin, patted nice and thin. And I know sometimes in the States, Americans don't like veal and they like to substitute chicken. Of course, that's your prerogative, but the dish is called Veal Saltimbocca. So that's why it's special. And what makes it a saltimbocca is this dish was named that because in Italian saltimbocca means to jump in the mouth or jump in one's mouth because the flavors just pop. So the second ingredient to a Veal Saltimbocca is the prosciutto ham. And now, so prosciutto is a very thinly cut, it's a cured ham. It's never cooked. It's been maybe cured, maybe brined, but never cooked. It is absolutely delicious. It's important that when you make this, that you get an absolutely real prosciutto. So in this case, we're using prosciutto crudo. Crudo basically means raw, but it really means cured. So it's a salt cured piece of very thinly sliced, like a chiffonade slice of ham. You also sometimes find in the store what's called prosciutto cotto. Cotto just means cooked. So cooked prosciutto cotto is not what you want to use for this dish, but you might want to use a prosciutto cotto for appetizers. You can use it to roll up ham. You can roll breadsticks in it, that kind of thing. And you can also eat this prosciutto crudo raw as well. It's very, very tasty. So those are the two things that I would not skimp on. And then the next couple of ingredients are, we have thinly cut slice of lemon. So we'll just put that right on top of each one of these. It's amazing how fast this comes together. Just like that. Let's put this one on. And then we'll just top the whole thing off with a nice sage leaf. This time of year, the sage in our garden is just going absolutely crazy. And as you can see, it's just beautiful. And so we're going to top that off with a sage leaf. And to finish putting this together, we just take a toothpick and just go, I'm going underneath the ham. We just want it to stay together, just like that. So we take our toothpick, go right through the sage leaf, through the lemon slice, come underneath, and voila, there we go, just like that. And here's the last one. This really is a very thick slice of veal. So that's it. Veal is very, very quick to cook. So we're going to go ahead and start our fire. So we just really want to get about a medium heat going under our pan. And we're going to add a little grapeseed oil to it, because we don't need to, we're not trying to infuse it with any extra flavor. There's plenty of flavor, believe you me, in this veal and in the prosciutto ham. So while our pan is heating up, we're going to gently season what we've got going here. We don't need to season the prosciutto side, but we'll season the veal side of this with a little bit of salt, and we're just going to drop that salt from on high so that it spreads out evenly all over our veal. And really a very high quality cut of veal only needs salt and a little bit of freshly ground black pepper. So that is our seasoning for this. And so we'll finish this with a sauce that we're going to use, this white wine. This is a Burgundy white wine. It's a Chardonnay. Any Chardonnay will do, but that's what we'll be using today. It's just a Chardonnay. You could use a Chenin Blanc if you wanted to. You could even use a Pinot Grigio, although a Pinot Grigio may be a little bit astringent for this dish. And then a little bit of fresh chicken stock, or freshly made chicken stock. And we'll just have a few little tomatoes to put on top of it. And then we'll add one other little dish, or one other little side item at the very last minute. But this goes really, really quickly. So let's get our veal going and we'll put our dish together. Okay, our oil is shimmering, so that means it's nice and hot. And just in case you had a question, when you go to the store, you want to get a veal, probably a veal scalloppini, or maybe it may be called an escallope, E-S-C-A-L-L-O-P-E, of veal. It just really means a thinly cut slice of veal. But just look how pretty that is, even in the pan. So while our veal is going, we are actually going to do make another little treat. And we're going to do something that is going to be used just to decorate the plate. So our veal is probably nice and brown on one side, and that's all we need. So let's go ahead and flip it over. And remember, when you do this, make sure you turn it away from you, flip it away from you, so that if something pops, just some oil pops, it doesn't pop on you or splash upon you. There we go. And that's the sound we want. And again, like I said, this goes very, very quickly. I'm actually going to press this down a little bit just to make sure our top side gets the nice browning that we want. But again, the prosciutto is basically already, it's not cooked, but it's cured. So you don't need to worry about really cooking the prosciutto. Let's take a look and see what everything looks like. So that's what that looks like now. And you can see our veal has turned turned a light color, which means it's just about ready. And we will not need to cook that much longer. Matter of fact, I think that's going to do it. So let's do this. We'll take those out. Beautiful. And now we're just going to reserve these in the oven, let them stay warm. And we are going to, we'll drain our pan of excess oil. So excess oil gets drained. And now we're just going to deglaze our pan with our white wine. So keep your heat up fairly high. And what we're looking for is for this wine to hit this pan and it to start bubbling up, and it starts loosening up all of those good bits at the bottom. So we'll let that stay nice and heated. And on the other side here, we've got a little pan going, and we are going to do some fried sage leaves. And these are just, I've chosen from the garden, I've chosen a few of the sage leaves that were just a little bit smaller than the big fat ones. So we're going to fry those, and you just will not believe how delicious that tastes. So the trick with frying sage leaves or basil or anything else like that you want to use as a presentation element is that your heat is moderate. I've got this, and it's probably about 170 degrees centigrade. That would be about 320, something like that, 325 if you were doing it in Fahrenheit. So what we are looking for is when we put this in, it's going to start bubbling up. There we go, just like that. And you see all the little bubbles around it. Once the little bubbles stop bubbling, then that means it is pretty much ready to go. There we go. Beautiful. Nice and crisp. I'm going to turn that one over. Oh, nice. Okay. Very nice. Done. Look how easy that was. And now what you want to do is just, we've taken those out, and we just want to salt them. As soon as you take them out, just like that, go ahead and just drizzle some salt over them. And now we'll let those sit, and we'll add those to our dish a little bit later. So the next thing we're going to do while our sauce is getting ready is, earlier we blanched a few green beans. And blanching, we've talked about this before in other videos, but we've just brought a pot of water to boil, nice amount of, probably about 2 or 3 tablespoons of salt in that water. And we're just going to now, oh, I didn't finish my thought. So a nice bit of salt in the water, and you want to put your vegetable in. And what blanching does is it tenderizes, and it also helps set the color. So we put this in a pot of boiling water for probably about 4 or 5 minutes. It turned a nice green color. We like our vegetables not to just be completely limp, so I still like a little bit of chew to the vegetable. So we took that out, put it in an ice water bath to cool it down and stop the cooking, and then we drained it. And so that's all we've done to these. And now all we're going to do is just put them in a little pan, and we've chopped up some shallots that we're going to sweat. and then we'll add our green beans to that. So as you can see, our pan, look at the color of that, just beautiful. Nice, beautiful color. All right. So now what we'll do is add our chicken stock. And that's going to be our sauce for our Veal Saltimbocca. Okay. So let's add our green beans to the pot. And we just want to let those sit in there for a few minutes, absorb all those flavors. We can do a little bit of salt over that. And very, very simple. A little bit of pepper. And I'm actually going to switch pans. I'm going to switch burners here. And the reason I did that is because I can get a little bit more heat from this burner, and I want this to come to the boil and be able to start reducing, so that it increases, it just intensifies the flavor of our sauce, and that's what we want for our veal sauce. Our sauce is looking beautiful. Look at that. It's just grabbed all of that nice flavor from the bottom of our pan, and beautiful color. And so again, what makes this sauce taste so good is that we've put that white wine in there and we reduced it. So we reduced the white wine till it was almost dry. Then we added our chicken stock, and remember, we had everything up to about maybe there on the pan, and now this is what we have left. So now what we'll do is strain that. We're going to strain that into another little pan. We don't absolutely have to strain it, but if you know, a lot of people like for their sauce to be really nice and clean and nice and not have any lumps or anything in it. So we just went ahead and strained it, and there's our sauce. And let's just give it a taste. Oh, it is just so good. And you know, you taste the sauce and you wonder where the sweetness comes from. We didn't add any sugar in it, but the sweetness has come from the reducing of the wine and the really high quality chicken stock that we had in there. And so you could, right now it's a little lemony, and to help with that lemony, the astringency of the lemon, we're just going to add just a little bit of butter. And really, this time, I really do mean a very small amount of butter. And we really should have this over. Let's have it over a small heat, just to let that butter get nice and melted in there. And we'll be ready to plate in about 2 seconds. Okay, let us plate our dish. Let's go with a few of our beautiful green beans. And you see how nice and green that color is. That is achieved by what we did before, by blanching that and then using very, very cold ice water to set the color when we take it out. Okay, and here's one of our saltimboccas, just like that. And let's add a little bit of our sauce. And this sauce is very, very, it's very intense. So you could use more or less of it if you want. And we'll just do a few nice tomatoes over the top. let's finish it. Beautiful fried sage leaf. And there we have it. Veal Saltimbocca with green beans, fried sage leaf, and a beautiful sauce. We are definitely going to taste our Veal Saltimbocca, but you want to make sure you do one thing, and that one thing is to remove the toothpick from the plate before you serve it. So to do that, just grab your knife, come right in there just like that, and there you have it. And take the toothpick out. And then the other thing that I want you to keep in mind is that these fried sage leaves, just like fried basil leaves, are a great snack. It's a great keto snack. I don't know about your sage plant at this point, but mine literally is this big. We have so much sage, we don't know what to do with it. And it's really nice and it's crispy. It's a great keto snack. Vegetarian, it's very tasty. All right, so let's now have a taste of our Veal Saltimbocca. Get a little bit of the veal, a little bit of that prosciutto, a little bit of the sauce. It's just so good because the ingredients are so good. You can even eat the lemon that's in this because it's very thinly cut. I'll eat a little bit of that lemon along with my veal. Great little tang. Just fantastic. Hope you enjoy it. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more, give us a thumbs up below and hit that subscribe button, it's free. And ring the bell if you want to be notified as soon as we release a new video. Also, let us know in the comments if you have any special recipe requests. We really appreciate you tuning in. See you next time.